On Friday, September 15th, the Clinton-Macomb Public Library hosted a kickoff event to introduce a virtual library card for Utica Community Schools. This will offer K through 12 students free digital access to special collections and reference resources through their local libraries. This is an exciting change for Utica Community Schools and the Clinton-Macomb Public Library.
This is outstanding. I mean, this is a librarian's dream. Every card, every child in the community having access to the library, that's exactly what we want.
A library is one of the things that I've worked for all my life. And to see that every child is going to have a library card, it was one of my most prized possessions when I was in school. So I think this is a great thing for a child to have.
We have been telling all of our parents and our students about the virtual library card, and we want them to sign up, and the benefits that we're sharing with them, that they have access to the library virtually, that as they do their studies in school and their teachers assign homework, that if they need assistance, they can dial up from 4 to 9 that tutor and get the assistance they need. And I say to them that the tutor isn't to do your homework, it's to support you as you do your homework. And it doesn't replace your teacher, because we have high quality teachers, but what it does do, it helps you to learn, how to access information, and to be a great learner.
Number one, it's free. Number two, it's a clean environment. They're not going to be exposed to some of the outside elements that affect kids nowadays. And as children get older, they will broaden their horizons just by having experienced the library.
The last step we want, though, for parents is to bring their kids to the library and then upgrade to a physical card. Here at Clinton-Macomb, they can actually continue to use that student number if they like to do that, but then they have access to everything. So print materials, group study room reservations in advance, all the programs that we offer, all those great things for kids of all ages.
A special announcement was held at the North Branch Library in Macomb Township.
And at this time, I'd like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Johns.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. McAvoy. Today is a fantastic day in the Utica Community Schools and here at the library in Macomb Township for the students, for all of our students. I couldn't be more pleased about this partnership, because this partnership is going to give our kids access through their virtual library card to digital resources for free. And I know Larry's going to talk about those digital resources, so I won't do that. But I do want to give a real shout out to Larry Neal here, who has actually been part of the Connect Ed initiative, which was actually initiated out of the White House. And this summer he came to us in Utica Community Schools, and along with other librarians that serve the Utica Community Schools, and talked about this virtual library card and the resources that would be available to our students, again, at no cost. And when you really think about what public education and the libraries are about, they're about educating a community. They're about making a difference in the lives of children and families. And this partnership is a natural partnership because it brings our children, our libraries, and our education establishments together. And I couldn't be more delighted. And when I think about equity, access, and excellence, all students will have access to high quality materials to read, the online tutors, so that they can do their schoolwork. The way you get to excellence is continuous improvement and community partnerships. So I couldn't be more delighted to be here today on behalf of the Utica Community Schools, representing our community and supporting this strong partnership with the libraries. At this time, I'd like to introduce a couple of special guests who are joining us. First, I'd like to acknowledge our Board of Education President, Mrs. Jean Kleida. We have another good friend who is here, Mr. Steve Truman, who is the treasurer of the Utica Community Schools Foundation for Educational Excellence. Mr. Truman. Mr. Truman was a former Board of Education member and is also now a resident of Macomb Township. We have our outstanding principals, Mrs. Denise Bailey, principal at Ebeling Elementary. Joining her today is Mrs. Stacy Dion, president of the Ebeling Parent Volunteer Group. We have Christine Wilson, principal at Beck Elementary School. And joining her is Miss Eileen Peretta, Vice President of the Beck Family Volunteers. Again, thank you for being here. I'm going to invite Mrs. Dunn up to the microphone on behalf of as a supervisor of Macomb Township to make a few remarks. I have to say this, as we were all gathering today, I couldn't be more proud to be part of this community on behalf of the Utica Community Schools. But Supervisor Dunn is a graduate of Utica High School. Her grandchildren attend our schools. She has been a great partner. And as we were talking today, a number of people actually have connections to Utica Community Schools. And I find it somewhat interesting that Larry Neal, when we first met, he told me that his dad was a teacher at Utica High School, and he taught computer science. And if I think about how computer science and library, and now the digital resources that are available to our kids are connected, things do get passed on from generation to the next generation to the next generation. So this is just really my honor to welcome Supervisor to the podium.
Good afternoon, everybody. I got to thinking about a library card. And when I was a young girl, my friends and I would leave school at lunchtime and walk to downtown Utica, where there was a dime store. Except the library was on the way, and while my friends bought nail polish and trinkets, I was pulled right into that library, off the sidewalk and in the door. And I was compelled to use one of my favorite possessions, my library card. Today, we have credit cards, we have gift cards, we have rewards cards, but nothing compared to that library card. A library card can make you laugh, it can make you cry, it can make you dream, it can make you forget your cares, enable you to solve a mystery, teach you how to build a backyard deck, bake a scrumptious dessert, and even find your ancestors. It is the most important school supply you can ever give your child. That library card is magic. You don't need any props. It's all in your head and what you read from a book. It's like a ticket that takes us on a lifetime journey. Congratulations to Utica Schools for taking this step, enabling students to participate in the challenge and become connected. Thank you for inviting me here today. And at this point, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the person responsible for bringing this program to our community, as well as many other innovative ideas and concepts. Larry Neal got his bachelor's and master's degree at Oakland University. He earned his second master's degree from that other school. I think its colors are blue and yellow. After graduation, he was employed by Rochester Hills Public Library until he became assistant library director for Clinton-Macomb. He is a pleasure to work with, and being that he works mostly with women, I want to tell you he's been trained and he takes orders very well. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Library Director, or Mr. Neal, but we all call him Larry.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Dr. Johns. I'd like to introduce a couple of people from the library side of this partnership in the audience with us. I have three of my trustees, Camille Silda, Amy Willie, and Cheryl Cannon. And another very important person, Mary Russo, from our Friends of the Library. That organization supports us and supports all of our programming throughout the year, so thank you as well, Mary. I've got B from my friends board here as well. We talk a lot about partnerships and how natural is it that schools and libraries should work together. I almost became a teacher thinking about my dad, but somehow I got drawn into the library world and never really got out. And it has been an amazing 35 years, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. But to see this all come together, this is a library director's dream, that every child in the community has a library card and has that same opportunity. Our resources are free of charge to our residents. They already pay for them through their library taxes, but they're also your students, your constituents, and they're the same, and we are doing our best when we are serving them all together and maximizing our resources and helping to promote each other's resources so that we just make the community stronger. Macomb County, and especially locally, the partnerships are amazing, and that's one of the things that I love about working here. When I got the email message in 2015 from the White House staff, aside from thinking it was a joke or a piece of spam, I couldn't believe it. But as a good librarian, I did my research and found out that it truly was legitimate. I received the library card challenge information on a Monday, and by the next day, I had the buy-in of Janet and Bob Cannon, the supervisor of Clinton Township, one of our superintendents, Ron Roberts from Chippewa Valley, and we were the first library system in the nation to accept the library card challenge. It just shows you. But we do serve 6 school districts, and we serve all of Chippewa Valley, so that was a natural partner, and Utica is a very important part of our service area too. So to have Utica on board is also amazing and getting us towards our goal. We want all 33,000 of those students in our service area to have those cards. Today, with adding Utica, we are now at 91% of our goal, so we just have 2 districts left to go. That's Fraser and New Haven. So, but dealing with Utica has been a little bit like an incredible blast. They are so energetic and so organized, and I think setting such a great model that we're going to want to take everything that they're doing from the school side and then pipe it up to our national cohort so they can see what a best practice is for launching this type of program. We can get a card in every student's hand, but the challenge is getting those kids to use that and to understand what that means and what doors that opens. That's the first goal. So working with a team like this, the educators, so that the frontline classrooms, the kids are hearing how important this resource is and what the library offers is the first step. Our second goal then is to get a conversion from a virtual card to a physical card, although you can still use your student number in our system. And that gives you access to everything that we have. So we have great virtual resources. Tutor.com has been mentioned a couple of times. But we also have these things that are paper, and they're called books. And believe it or not, studies have shown that teens actually do still like things in paper format. So don't make the assumption, anyone, that it's all electronic. So we want them to have full access to everything. So far in the last 2 years, we've already had over 4,000 families come in. The parent needs to sign for that physical card. But now those 4,000 students have that access. So with the addition of Utica, 75% of those kids did not have a library card, so now 75% in our service area now have the virtual cards. So we're going to start working on them to come in with their parent and get that full access sign up. I can't tell you, I think we've already talked about the importance of a library card, but in this era of fake news and everything else, becoming a critical consumer of information in this age of data is more important, and the libraries have that resource for you. And so, with that, thank you so much. We are so excited about this partnership, and thank you for a great future and many, many good things to come.
If you or your child is a member of Utica Community Schools and would like to find out more information or see what the new virtual library card can offer, visit the Clinton-Macomb Public Library's website at cmpl.org. You can also find library locations, offers, and special events coming up. We thank you for watching another edition of Spotlight Macomb.